Our second presentation is about COVID-19 response, a case, Yeongdong-Pogu, Seoul, South Korea. The presenter is Hyun-Hee Lee, public officer at Yeongdong-Pogu office, Seoul, South Korea. And the presentation will be discussed by Professor Hao-Yao Chun at Chinese Culture University.
Hello, I'm Hyun-Hee Lee, public officer, Yeongdong-Pogu office. Today, I'm going to present about COVID-19 response case of Korean district, Yeongdong-Pogu, Seoul, South Korea. First, war on COVID-19. Invisible enemies. World is still struggling to manage invisible enemies. Controversy between intended proliferation theory and accidental propagation theory in the early time. Efforts to determine the location of the outbreak and controversy about who's responsible for the pandemic in the middle time. Efforts to secure vaccines and seek mass immunity at present time. Effects on individuals and our government. COVID-19 pandemic is the top priorities of the government. Individuals try to protect themselves with increased social responsibility. So far, we all are now on the war on COVID-19 pandemic. Proliferation of COVID-19, transnational proliferation of COVID-19. Scope of the spread of COVID-19 is not limited to particular region, country, etc. Proliferation of COVID-19 is transnational and it includes the entire society of our country. Continuous propagation and variant COVID-19. A characteristic that becomes the variant meaninglessly. Emergence of new variant COVID-19 is frightening. Some people are infected after being vaccinated. Second, Changes of secret concepts. Definition of secret threats. Secret, state of being free from danger or threat. Threats to our country. Threats from main enemies. Enemies inside. Threats from potential enemies. National secret. Protection against military, non-military concerns from foreign and domestic threats. Guarantee of sovereign and stable development of a nation. Action plan. Judge foreign and domestic threat. Prepare for the worst scenario. Important thing is to overcome foreign and domestic threats at the same time. Change in secret and threat. Traditional military threat continues. Local disputes continues due to competition over resources and territories and religious and racial conflicts. Increase of non-military threats. International terrorism, epidemic, drugs, climate problem, etc. Directions for national secret. Cause: September 11 attacks. Comprehensive secret. Prepare for military, non-military threats. Cooperation secret. Guaranteed by military forces, public, private military, police cooperation, and international cooperation. International cooperation is important for comprehensive secret. COVID-19 threatening the national secret in 21st century. Threats to many people's lives. Threats to society and individuals' right to life. Includes psychological anxiety and social disruption. Organizational response. Expansion and recognition of Korea's centers for disease control and prevention. The center has been recognized as a separate administrative body, named the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency. The government has increased quarantine work and expanded the work of disease control agencies. COVID-19 response guidelines. Social distancing and distancing guidelines for daily life. Manage citizens and foreigners coming from overseas. Introduce living rules for people under the status of self-isolation. And social distancing implemented in a total of 5 states, level 1 to level 3. and then major quarantine measures. The measures are implemented separately in multi-facilities for each facilities to prevent propagation. Wearing masks became a must-do in daily life as a social and economic response. Various gatherings and events are conducted separately by field due to the minimization of gatherings. 5 important rules and detailed facility guidelines are to be followed by individuals and communities. Management of overseas arrivals. Symptom considered management. Classify groups by whether they have symptoms or not and manage them separately among Koreans and foreigners. Manage based on COVID-19 test results. Domestic residents and long-term staying foreigners identified as negative are to be managed by its local government. Conduct COVID-19 test 1 day after entry to South Korea. Persons subject to self-isolation who have contact with a confirmed patient. Self-monitoring up to the end of the 14-day self-isolation. Prohibiting leaving quarantine place or contact outsiders to prevent the spread of infection. Contact public officials in case of unavoidable circumstances, providing care, service, and visiting nursing if necessary. No contact with family members and residents. Local government, private, public, military, police cooperation response. Response for containment infectious diseases. Local governments and other related agencies, such as military and police, jointly respond to the pandemic. Disclosure of information to ensure information transparency. Efforts to prevent infection among family members and relieve inconvenience to self-isolation. Continuing regional response to ensure the safety of the community. Preemptive quarantine, case of Yeongdeung-po-gu, holding countermeasures meetings and actively operating temporary screening laboratory. Operation of a screening inspection center from 9 to 18 on both weekdays. Quick on-site inspection of current status and response to it. Close collaboration based on the leadership of Chief of the Yeongdeung-pogu office and epidemiology TF of the Public Health Center. Preemptive quarantine case of Yeongdeung-pogu. Collaboration between military soldiers and police dispatched to Yeongdeung-pogu office. Military soldiers and police, with dedication and with a full sense of response from national security. Identifying real-time movements of the confirmed patients subject to self-isolate and manage situations. Relaxed persons subject to self-isolation in psychological stability. Comfort the patients, family members and friends during a base epidemiological survey. Preemptive inspection of Yeongdeung-pogu office is part of its commitment to the health of the people. Conclusion: role of the quarantine authorities and the attitude of protecting my region must be in harmony. Close cooperation between quarantine agencies and determined departments is necessary. Local governments and health centers struggling alone are not enough. Voluntary participation of citizens in quarantine activities are needed. Conclusion: and we are going to win this war against COVID-19 in the final. Thank you for listening. 감사합니다.
All right, thank you very much. It was actually excellent presentation and excellent